Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Friday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It's 20 Zulu on October 14th, 2022. It's time for the weekend special. And you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes I don't even know what's going to happen. But today, I do know we have a rock star DXpeditioner on with us. It's Adrian KO8SCA. Hello, Adrian.
Hello, Tim, and happy Friday from New York.
Happy Friday. That is right. And the great thing is that we are get in the middle, I guess, of really contest season. If you think about the digital contest was in August, the Worldwide Digi, and also the RTTY CQ Worldwide was already in September. Here we are in October. And Adrian, let's talk about some of the cool places that you're going. Where are you going for CQ Worldwide phone?
For the CQ Worldwide phone this year, I'm going to be joining the Italian team, and under the call sign Julia 28 Mike Delta, we're going to be going to Djibouti. That's a little country in Africa, and we'll be there for the expedition for about 10 days. But most importantly, we're going to be doing the CQ Worldwide SSB 2022.
So, Adrian, let's talk about how you get to Djibouti. From New York, how do the flights go to get there?
Well, it's a really long flight. From New York, I fly into Milan. That's where there's a big radio club there, and the team from all over the world arrives there in Milan. We're going to be staying there for about a day. It's going to be a lot of fun at the local radio club. They're usually preparing a nice Italian dish and some little wine. And then when that's done, everybody heads off to the airport, and we'll take another flight to Ethiopia. And then from there, we fly to Djibouti. So for me, it will be 3 flights going in.
So Milan, stay a day, go to Ethiopia, then Djibouti. And how much equipment are you guys taking to Djibouti?
Well, we are about 15 members, and each of us will be having 2 suitcases, and the carry-on suitcases, what all you need, clothing-wise, when you go to a country in Africa. And the other 2 suitcases will be filled with what else? Equipment. That's antennas and radios and amplifiers, and we'll be staying in Djibouti at some kind of a resort, tourist place. So we don't need to carry any fuel or tents or anything heavy. So most of the suitcases, about 20 something of them, will be filled up with radios and antennas and coaxial cable.
So, Adrian, you're going to go to Djibouti and you're going to build a station basically from scratch, right? You're going to a
Yes.
resort, and at the resort there are no antennas, and
No,
you're bringing everything.
yes, it's basically everything from scratch. You build like a Radio Shack. You have antennas and masts and fiberglass poles, and you building everything from antennas, large antennas for 160 to 10 meters. We're also going to be experimenting with satellite. Djibouti is not a rare country when it comes to the XCC, but it's very rare for the low bands, 160 and 80. So we're going to be putting a lot of effort there. Djibouti is rare for the new mode FTA, which is pretty popular these days. And it's actually very rare on satellite and EME. So we'll be plenty busy there for about 10 days.
Wow, that is an exciting project. Then you come back to New York, and you rest a few days, and then you get ready for CQ Worldwide CW. And where are you going for that? The end of November.
Well, before I get to New York, from Milan, I'm going to be flying to Norway, and I'm going to be meeting more teammates from the Bouvet Expedition. We'll be taking a climbing course on a glacier. Probably we're not going to need those skills, but it's good to have for that upcoming Bouvet Expedition in January. So after that, I'll be back to New York and probably relax for a week or so, and then I'll be heading to St. Kitts for the CQ Worldwide CW. It's one of my favorite contests, and it's obviously the biggest contest of the year. And looking forward to have some fun from a pretty rare contest destination on Thanksgiving,
Yes,
nonetheless.
yes. And what call sign will you be in St. Kitts, Adrian?
Well, I applied for a call sign and haven't received it yet. It takes a little bit. I applied for a contest call sign, so I don't know exactly what it will be.
Okay.
But looking for forward for something juicy that will be easy to get on the air during the contest.
Right. And so let's talk about your schedule in December. Are you going on any DXpeditions in December?
Actually, I was planning to, but then my wife suggested that maybe I should stay put for a few weeks before heading to the Falklands. So I think I'm going to take her advice and stay around the home and uh, you know get a little bit more in shape for the big one in January.
In January. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, tell me about your flights and all the logistics. The Big Bouvet Island DXpedition in January.
Yes, this is going to be quite an adventure. Probably the most adventurous the expedition I've been to. The team leaders and the team has been preparing for the expedition for almost 3 years. Usually, you don't need more than 6 months, a year, the most to prepare the expedition. But this one is really more difficult than everything else. That's why it's actually number two on the DX entity list on Clublog. So at this point, the team is relaxing a little bit because the container has been shipped, left Oslo on September 10. And the container actually, we've been tracing it, and it looks like it's close to somewhere in the area of Canary Islands, Echo Alpha 8. So it's almost halfway through to its journey to Falkland Islands. And the Falkland Islands, actually, it's going to do a stopover in Montevideo and then from there to the Falklands. And after customs and unloading, um, the content of the container will be loaded onto our boat Marama, which is waiting for us in Port Stanley in Falkland Islands. Now the team will be traveling from wherever they live around the world, North America or Puerto Rico or Germany or Oslo. We're all going to be meeting in London sometime on January the 12th. We'll stay in London for a day and then we'll pick up a flight that's going to take us from London with the fueling stopover somewhere in Africa, from what I understand. And then the flight will end up in Port Stanley, and we'll be landing on Port Stanley on January the 12th. And then the team will have a safety meeting, preparation, and training with the boat, get accommodated with the layout of the boat. And then on January 13, or around that date, we're going to be leaving Port Stanley for the 10 to 15 days trip to Bouvet Island.
That's incredible. And do you see my screen, Adrian, with Bouvet?
Yes, that's our website.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's 3Y0J is the website, and that will be your call sign. This is a really tough place to go.
Yes, it is indeed. Well, it's hard to get there. It's hard to stay there. It's expensive to get there. You know, when you talk about Bouvet, you always talk in superlatives. Everything is difficult. There were a few attempts recently that couldn't make it, and that proves that this is no easy game for anybody. So, yeah, indeed, our website, 3Yankee0Julia.com, has a lot of details about our plans, a bunch of pictures, a little bit of the history. It's quite an interesting place to spend a few minutes to read about. It's like reading a page from a Discovery Channel show kind of thing, you know?
And Adrian, are you one of the youngest members of the team?
I was about to be the youngest, but then Otis, our dentist, came on, and he seems to be the youngest, and he's part of the Key 3LR team, from what I know. So I guess you know him very well. He's
Yes.
very jovial and nice guy. Actually, he's going to be visiting me in New York next week, so I'm looking forward to exchanging some uh, ideas, or maybe a couple of beers.
Yeah. Well, that's very good. Yeah, Otis is a great operator and a super nice guy and a very hard worker. So I'm sure he'll be great for the team. And a couple of stations that are guys that are watching today. Victor Uniform 3 Tango November Lima is on from
Oh,
India.
that's quite
And
a DX.
yeah, that's some DX and Zone 22. Adrian, it's in the middle of the night there in, in India. Um, Kilo India 5, Mike Charlie in Houston, Texas is on. And our friend Greg, November Charlie 7 Bravo, says interesting background information. Our friend Dan from Kentucky, it's Whiskey Alpha 4, Mike Oscar Mike. And from Wasilla, Alaska, there's Kilo Lima 7 is on today with us as well. And over in London, it's Germany 6, Juliet Mike X-Ray. And got Dave Fairbanks, which is one of our team members here at DX Engineering, November 8, November Bravo. And Dave, I'm sure, is going to be looking for you at all these DX locations, especially Bouvet. And Jimmy Cessna, who is Kilo Bravo 8 November, is on with us today. And our friend Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel, John, good luck and thanks for all the work on this once in a lifetime DXpedition. Let's talk about that for a second, Adrian.
Okay.
It's so expensive, so dangerous. I mean, you guys get there and get back safe. A team may never go there again.
Yes, indeed. The last activation of Bouvet was in 2007, and that made just a few QSOs. Actually, in the past, there were about 8 activations according to Club Log, but there was only one DXpedition in 1989 in January 1989, January 1990, and they made about 40,000 QSOs. Most people that have Bouvet on their log is they actually made a QSO with that DXpedition. So, like I said, the last activation was in 2007, and the reason being is very expensive to get there. If successful, I'm sure we will be successful, this will be the most expensive DXpedition ever. And as such, will probably be another 15, 20 years until another Bouvet DXpedition will get there. So that's why everybody's so excited about our this particular project, because looking around at the age of the ham operators today, almost none of them will want to be waiting another 15, 20 years to get Bouvet in their log. So when we prepare for the expedition, one of the goals that we had in mind was making sure that we're going to make at least 200,000 QSOs. I'm going to repeat that, 200,000 QSOs. And the reason we're trying to do so, as I said, is because the next activation will probably be a long, long time from now.
Yeah, yeah, that's just so expensive, so dangerous, and what you're going to be away for 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
On an average, about 45 days. Our goal is to be on the island for about 22 days. That's actually part of the contract that we have with the boat Marama, or French boat that takes us to Bouvet. And so our intention is to be on the island for 22 days so that we can achieve our stated goal of 200,000 QSOs at
Oh,
least.
that's a tremendous amount of contacts. 200,000. That's incredible. And of course, we have Nathan is on with us, Kilo Delta 2 Papa Sierra Charlie. And here's an African multiplier for you, Adrian. Victor 51 Yankee Juliet is on, Andrew, and he's a good guy, and always good to have you on, Andrew. And K3 Charlie Whiskey Echo. Hello, Tim and Adrian. Hoping to hear you from Bouvet. He's been following the team online, and guys are putting up big antennas, or they're finally getting around to putting up that antenna, and then also ordering amplifiers. So it's going to be an all-out battle. And Bob the Traveler's on with us. That's Whiskey Delta 8 November Victor November. I need Bouvet Island for DXCC number 331.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's got a lot of countries already worked. And from the DX Engineering sales team, it's Wayne Smith, Kilo 8 Fox. Wayne, good to have you on, and he hopes to work you from Djibouti on SSB. I think that'll be a new mode for Wayne. And thanks, Wayne, for all you do for DX Engineering. And Nicholas is on Fox 5 Tango Golf Radio. I'm waiting for Bouvet since 32 years.
Wow.
So, I think Nicholas is all tuned up for it as well. And I guess watching the website is the best way to stay up to date, right?
That's correct. We also have actually a Facebook page. You just do a search for our call sign 3 Yankee 0 Juliet, and the Facebook page is more dynamic because a lot of things are happening. It's like I said, it's a lot of logistics with the DXpedition, and there's every other day there's something new posted on our Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel, but also, whenever there's a piece of news going out there, it's listed all the news, newsletters, DX newsletters around the world, and so forth. But yes, the website and the Facebook are the main venues for news regarding Bouvet.
All right. Well, that sounds great. Adrian, we'll have you on in December to talk about your travels during CQ Worldwide, and then we'll catch up with you and maybe even Otis at the same time. If we can get both of you on, that would be great. But thanks so much for coming on today and bringing us up to date. And we didn't even get into all the great work you've done at 4U1 UN and other DXpeditions, but we'll leave that go till another time.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure as usual. And 73 from New York.
All right. Thanks, Adrian, and thanks to all of you for watching today. Get on the air this weekend. The Workdoll Germany contest is this weekend, and lots of other fabulous contests and operating activities. Work the Scouts, Jamboree on the air this weekend. The HF bands will have lots of Scout stations on. So get on the air, have some fun, and we'll see you next Tuesday for Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff. Until then, 73 from DX Engineering.